He can comfort us and carry us through.
Yes.
He's done it before. My God, he can do it.
He can do it again.
That's right.
Yes, he can. Yes, he can.
There is a word I like to lift up today from Exodus, first chapter of Exodus, verses 6 through 10, and then 12 through 14. Also, Proverbs 28 and verse 12. Then Joseph died, and all his brothers, and all that generation. But the descendants of Israel were fruitful and increased greatly. They multiplied and grew exceedingly strong, so that the land was filled with them. Now there arose a new king, Pharaoh over Egypt, who did not know Joseph. He spoke to his people in alarm. There are way too many of these Israelites for us to handle. Message Bible. We've got to do something.
My Lord.
Let's devise a plan to contain them. Least if there's a war, they should join our enemies or just walk off and leave us. But the more they were oppressed, the more they spread abroad. And the Egyptians were in dread of the people of Israel. Takeaway verse, and there arose a new Pharaoh over Egypt who didn't know Joseph.
My Lord.
Proverbs 28:12, Message Bible translation. When good people are promoted, everything is great. But when the bad are in charge, watch out.
All right.
God's role in politics.
All right. All right.
Ready or not, leadership changes happen frequently, sometimes scheduled, and sometimes by total surprise. Think of any position in corporate America, in the government, or even in the hierarchy of the church.
All right.
And you can see a revolving door.
Yes, sir.
It has key people making entrances at the beginning of their appointed time and season.
Yes.
And it also has key people making exits near the end of their appointed time and season.
All right.
We didn't come here to stay always,
All right.
says a verse of a familiar song. We assume our roles for a season.
Yes, sir.
We make our significant contributions while we can, while we have strength, while we have good control of all of our faculties.
Yeah.
We do what we can while we can.
Yes.
And then we move on to another chapter of life and living.
Amen.
Transitions happen all the time. And really, a transition isn't a problem because that's the way of time.
That's right.
The problem is not with the fact that a beloved or highly regarded, elected, appointed, or gifted leader departs through the revolving door when the season of their tenure is up. When one's tenure is up, the revolving door swings on its hinges, and one goes out while another is set to make an entry.
Amen.
But the challenge is for the people who remain, and they have to reestablish themselves with whoever walks through the revolving door as a new authority figure.
Amen.
What kind of person is this coming through my revolving door?
Right.
Is he or she fair, or are they not fair at all? And the newly arrived must show why they belong and appeared for such a time as this.
All right.
So for those who are coming in, they need to show why they came in. And for those who meet those who come in, we got to figure out what kind of person is this? Are they fair or are they not fair? And I must admit, those who establish themselves based on the demonstration of their professionalism, their expertise, and their competence have little to be concerned about. It's just a matter of time before your quality will beam through and be held in high regard.
Right.
If you are doing what you do and you're doing it because of your competence, because of your expertise, because of your God-given ability, you don't have to worry too much about a new Pharaoh who comes on the scene.
Amen.
Anybody with any kind of worth their salt will be able to see quality when it is demonstrated in their presence.
All right.
But if anybody should be concerned about a transition, it's those who are great office politicians who got to where they were because of dirty politics.
All right.
Lord,
My Lord.
Now they have to find ways to reestablish similar kinds of relationships with the new personality and their regime.
My Lord.
And because leadership changes and power shifts happen in the due course of time,
Yes.
success gained through slick office politics will be left dangling in the wind. This occurs when political liaisons walk through the revolving exit door and are no longer in power. When people have sort of made some arrangement with somebody who's sort of on the throne, sort of in power, and all of a sudden they have to move, and sometimes it's not by choice. It just happens because it's by the way of time.
Yes.
Right.
And even then, God has a way of moving some folks
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
out of the way when it's time for them to be moved out of the way.
All right.
And if a person has sort of got their power base built on the fact that a certain person is doing a certain thing, there will arise a new Pharaoh, a new authority figure that will not know them or anything about prior arrangements made for in-house benefit.
All right.
And if the power base is built on office politics alone, and not on the solid demonstration of skills, then they are in danger of losing their connections and their influence. During any transition of leadership, the task is to reintroduce oneself and demonstrate worthiness all over again.
Amen. Yes, sir.
I'm familiar with that because of my 21 years in the military, 3 or 4 years here, 3 or 4 years there. Get a great commander. That commander knows all about me, all about the folk who are there. But then when that commander who, thought highly of you, gets PCS orders, permanent change of station orders, and has to leave.
Yes. All right.
We have a change of command ceremony, and they pass the baton to another leader.
Yes.
He may look at you and say, "Who are you?"
My Lord. My Lord. Amen.
I've had some, I was a chaplain, you understand, and had a special relationship with the commander. And I had some who appreciated the chaplain and some who did not. Some who believed in the Lord and said, "You know what, because you are the Lord's man in this organization, I know I can depend on you, I can trust on you because you are confided in and people tell you things they don't tell anybody else. You don't have to divulge what's being said or compromise confidentiality."
Yes,
but if you know something, just sort of give me a hint about something, and I know that you know something, and I'll go and act upon it.
Right.
But then I had some who came in, who were totally non-believers at all, and said, "Why do I have to have you?"
Right.
Matter of fact, I had one that says, "You know what? You are not mission essential."
Right.
I said, "I'm not mission essential? What about the morale of your folk?
All right.
What about somebody who is a confidant to tell somebody what's going on? I'm not a mission essential."
My Lord.
And I never will forget that I'm not mission essential. Well, if that's the case, why am I out here in the woods in Florida, 300 miles from my house? Why am I hanging around out here? Excuse me, I just went somewhere. I'm only saying that because there's always a transition.
That's right.
It's a revolving door.
Yes.
And if you got good rapport with one person, that's a good thing. But sometimes the transition will move them out, and you got a new person standing there, and you have to reintroduce yourself and demonstrate your worthiness all over again.
That's right. That's right.
And surely those who have dealt with changes in trusted people, handling important areas of your life, know the impact of a familiar person leaving through the revolving door when their time, when their tenure, and when their season is up.
Yeah. Right. Yes, sir.
I put it in civilian terms. You got a doctor you've had for 30 years. That person has been taking care of all of your sensitive health issues.
All right.
But all of a sudden something happens. Maybe they get sick themselves.
That's right.